Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Simi Kemza James. For our new and old subscribers, you're all welcome to today's tutorial, guys. So guys, I was just perusing the walls of Instagram and I came across this really beautiful top and I felt it's really cute. Now, for the one I'm going to be showing you, credit is not mine. I saw it on someone's page and I just felt, why not? Let me show you guys how to make it, or let's make this together. So I'm going to show you how to make the pattern for this really beautiful top. So it's a 4-corner neck top and it's sort of
So
like a
guys,
corset top.
for
So
us to
without
make
further
this
ado, let's
squared
get into
neck
it.
corset, what would want to do corset top, what we want to do first off is to close these darts that we have here, and then we continue with our drafting. But before then, I'm going to go ahead and pay back my darts. I've not paid back these darts that we have here. So we have a total of 2 inches for this dart here. So you just need your basic bodice, right? So if you don't know how to do this, I'll be linking it up for you to see. So I'm just going to come over here to pay back for that dart. Now, because I don't want it looking awkward around here, eventually I'm eventually going to take out some part of the, let me not just go into that though, but I'm just going to go ahead and just extend this line straight down. Now I have an excess around the lower side, which is the hip side. Because of this extension that I did here, I'll eventually take that out and you'll see how I took that out eventually. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect to this point like so. So now that's what we have. I'm continuing my job with the pencil in case I need to make alterations, or because we're going to be doing a lot of that on this pattern. So now I'm going to cut this out first before I continue anything. What I'm going to do is to close these darts that we have here. So for me to close that dart, I'm going to go ahead and open this one here. So I'm cutting out these darts that I have here. Then I'll go ahead and close this one. So I'm cutting this side of the dart. Then I'll just go ahead and close the dart like so. I'll come over with my masking tape so I can hold the paper down. So by the time I close that side, I can now go ahead and proceed. Now I'm going to go ahead and draw in my shoulder dart, right? So I'm going to find half of my shoulder measurement. I'll just come here. I have 5 inches here, so I'll just do half of that 5 inches, which is 2.5. So I'll mark my 2.5 here like so. Then I'll go ahead and connect that point to my bust point like so. Then I'm taking half inch on both sides, or I'll just go ahead and do 1 inch on both sides. Even if you do half inch, it's still fine because I'm still going to open that around the next side. So I'll just go ahead and draw this line. Now I'm going to determine where I want my neck depth to be. This is supposed to be where my neck is, but that's not where I'm going to be using. So from this beginning point, I'm going to come down by 6 inches. So that's how deep I want my neck. So I'll do 6 inches like so, or 6.5 will be fine. So I'll just go ahead and mark 6.5 like so. If you want it more revealing, you can go down more. If you want it more closed, you can come up, but I want it around 6.5, so that's why I have it here. So this is going to be my neckline. Now I'm just going to go ahead and draw that in a straight line like so. So this is supposed to be my neckline because I'm going to cut out this dart. So this point here is going to be my neckline. Now, because I want this place tighter on my 4 corner neck, I'm going to take half of an inch inwards more on this side of the neck. Then I'll do another half of an inch on this side like so. Now let me extend that line just so I see what I'm doing properly. So I'll extend it up to here. Now I'll just nicely connect here to this point. So you can just go ahead and use your ruler, but I'm just going to use a little bit of the curved side of my ruler to work on that. So I have my 4 corner neck, and by the time I hold this together, when I cut out my panels, I will have like a nice snug neck point here. If you don't like it and you still want it tight, like for me, I want that point to be like really tight. So, and that's why I added that half of an inch here. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect that point back to my bust point. Then I'm using the curved side. Let me just use my French curve so that it gives me that nice finish. So I'll just go ahead and use, this is my bust side, just go ahead and curve it to this point like so. So it will give me that sort of nice finish by the time I close that. So I'm going to measure what I have here to my bust to ensure that by the time I join everything together, it will be fine. I have 6.1 inch. Then I'll check this side. I have 6.1 inch as well, which means it's fine. So now I'm going to determine how many panels I want on my blouse. So I want one more panel here and one more panel here. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark 1.5 or 1.75 here, right? Or let me just do 1.5, guys, because by the time I open that, this is going to be 3 inches. You can even do 1.25, is still fine, because this side is going to be on fold. Then on the waist side here, I'll just do another 1.5 here, then another 1.5 on this side. So I'll just go ahead and connect those lines. Now you can change your style line. You can make your style line slanted or anyhow you want it. But for this blouse, I'm just adding these style lines just for fun purposes. So for this side as well, I'm going to, from the outer side, I'm going to be measuring, or let me just give it a little bit of style. So from here, I'm just going to find a point on the armhole and mark here. Then I'll just mark 3.5 inches from here to this point. Then I'll do 2.5 on the bust side, 2.5 here. Then I'll just go ahead and do 3.5 or 4 inches around here. Now this is just for style purposes, because I want so many style lines on the corset like blouse. So I'll just go ahead and connect all my points together. Now you remember I said I added here, so I'm going to measure what I have there on this side that I added on the hip side that I'm not supposed to add. I have a total of 1.5, so I'm going to share that into 2, 1.5 by 2, and then I'll divide it by 2. Then I'll subtract it on this side, because I don't want this corner that is pointed here. So I'll just go ahead and mark here, mark it here, then I'll just connect it and cut that out. once I'm done connecting, mind you, I've not done my under bust tightening or my under bust contouring, whatever you call it, or whatever you're most comfortable with calling it. So now I'll just go back in and do my under bust contouring. So this is my under bust area. So on my under bust, I'm going in like half of an inch on both sides. So I'll do half inch here and half inch here, like so. Then I'm going to connect that point back to this line here. So I'll just bring it back here. Like so. Now the next thing I'm going to be doing is to shape this under bust to my bust area. So I'll just use my curve to just sort of shape it to connect to the bust area. I'll shape this side as well. Then I'll go ahead and cut out this line because that's still a dart. If you've seen my video on contouring of your bodies, you would understand what I have there. I'm going to be linking the video up for you just in case you've not seen it, but it's just the previous video before this video. So this is it. Now I'm going to go ahead and shape my armhole. So I'll contour my armhole as well. So I'll just do half inch like this. Then I'll just go ahead and blend that side into that line. Now I'm going to cut out all my panels. So first off, I'll label my panels center 1, center 2, front, sorry, I said center, it's supposed to be front, front 2, front 3, front the 4th, right? Yeah, so that's it. I'll go ahead and cut out that's one. Then I'll cut this side out as well. Now let me cut out my neckline first. Mind you, I've not added any sewing allowance to this pattern. So take this side out, then I'll cut out these darts that I have here. Right, so this other side as well, this dart, this tiny little dart that I have here, I'll just cut that out. And then here, now I'm cutting out this side as well. Now the good thing about having your dresses in panels, this is one of the easiest way to cut out like panel blouses or corsets. So you won't realize how easy the calculations here are lesser than the previous corset tutorial that I fixed, that I had up on the channel. So you can see these are my front panels, right? You can box the hem of it if you like. So I'm going to go ahead and do the back side for you to see. For the back, it's actually pretty easy. It's easier than the front. We don't have any bust area to do any contouring that much. So I have my regular back dart, and in my previous video I told you that the back dart is usually longer than the front dart. So I have it up onto this the fullest part of the back here. So this is my my midpoint for for my shoulder line, where I would be using as a reference to cut out my dart, so my neckline. So for the back neckline, I want it as deep as the front neckline or even deeper. So I might end up doing 9.5 for the back. So I have my 9.5 here, which is also my shoulder line. So I'm just going to go ahead and open that. On this dart leg, I'm coming out by 0.5 inches here, so that will make for my neckline. So from this point, now this point is the same point as the front side, where my shoulder for the front that I left, so I would have to use the same thing on the back. This is the midpoint. So you remember on the front side I moved by 1 inch, so it's the same 1 inch that I left here. So I'm going to connect that point to this point here to give me my neckline. You can use a curve or a ruler, that's fine. So this point will be, this side here will be my front neckline, so I will not be making do with this axis again, this area of the back anymore. So I'm going to make those I'm going to make amendments on my darts in the back. Now on this side, this is my affluence point, right? This is my affluence point and this is my chest point. I didn't go ahead to mark my bust point and my under bust at the back because I don't even need that. So on my affluence point, I'm going to go in from here. I'm going in by half of an inch, but I'll do 1 inch, guys, because I want it to sort of like fit very nice. So I'll do 1 inch, then I'll go ahead and connect that 1 inch to this point here, like so. Then I'll go ahead and connect this other side like this. It will eliminate any bulkiness on the back side of the bodies. So I would connect it to somewhere around this dart region as well on this side. Now another thing is to take out that allowance here, that I have a tutorial on where I explained contouring, so ensure to watch that side so you would understand why I'm taking a dart here. But even though I take this dart, I'm still going to go ahead and close this dart like so. When I cut my patterns out, I'll make sure I close this dart. Always keep this dart closed, guys. If whatever you're sewing is not going to have a joining here, then you make sure you keep it closed. So here we go. So this is what we have that I'm going to cut from here to here. Now I'm going to make another piece, another panel from here, just like I have in the front. So somewhere around here, I'm just going to trace off. I'm not measuring anything. I'm just freestyling, guys. So I'm just going to just trace it off the shape that I want to see. I'll just trace off with my hands, and that is it. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut out this dart. I'm going to throw it away. So the back is pretty simple, unlike the front. So this is my back neckline. I'm going to be lacing this top up. So now on all my panels, I'm going to go ahead and now let me label them. This is my back one, which is, let me just indicate center back, and this is my zip side. So I'll just go ahead and put my green lines. I'll just go ahead and add my green line. This is back 2, then back 3. So I think we have 4 panels in the front, but I don't want 4 at the back, so this 3 is pretty alright. Cut out these darts. Now don't forget that I've not added any sewing allowance on this pattern, so I'll just go ahead and add I'm going to, when I'm cutting out my fabric, I'm going to go ahead and add 1/4 inch sewing allowance everywhere around the pattern. So here are all my back panels. I have my center back, my middle back, and my center back and my side back. So I would also indicate my grain line on this side as well. So here's the panel. Now you can move your darts just to get different shapes of your seam line. That's totally fine, but I'm okay with the straight lines. So let me show you the front part alongside. So here are all my panels, my front panels and my back panels. For the front, I have 4 panels. When I'm done, this side is on fold, the center front is on fold, except of course you want a seam line here, but every other place you're going to go ahead and add maybe 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch sewing allowance all around the panels. So this is it. Hope you enjoyed this video. I can't wait for the outcome of this top as well. I'm going to be sewing it very soon. So if you're not yet subscribed, ensure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that video. See you in my next tutorial, guys. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media pages, Timmy Kemza James on Instagram and Somatize on Facebook. Until next time, guys, bye.